Welcome back, guys. We have the Shadow Dragon archetype over here for review. I know this video is coming out a little late, but unfortunately, I was busy the last couple of days, so I couldn't get around to making this video. But you know what they say, better late than never. I know you guys have been patiently waiting for this Shadow Dragon archetype breakdown, so let's just get right into it. So here we have the 4-star ball, also known as the Nova Shenron archetype. So this is the opposing archetype, yellow archetype, as opposed to the Gogeta archetype that Banda has revealed on this Facebook. So we're gonna review it. We're gonna take a look at what it can do. Now, Shadow Dragon is always good because there's a plethora of Shadow Dragon support from the previous sets, dating all the way back from set 10 till now, right? So this leader, being a Shadow Dragon leader, has access to a lot of that support. We're going to review that. So for you guys that don't know how this video works, we're going to break down the archetype, go over each card, reread it, and see the I guess the synergy and the meta competitiveness of this deck, I guess, or just the viability of it in general. And then we're going to look at some older cards that support this. Spoiler: there's a lot. This deck was actually made to be used with older support, and we're going to go over some of that, and then I'm going to see how great this deck is, right? So let's start off. 4-star ball, permanent. This card can't attack. Activate made. Add one yellow card from your hand to your Z energy. Switch this bad boy to rest mode. Look it up to the top 5 cards. Add any yellow Shadow Dragon card to your hand. Shuffle your deck. So the fact that this card adds any yellow Shadow Dragon card is really cool. You can actually go ahead and also add the green yellow SS4 Gogeta versus Shenron, right? Because it's green yellow, it just specifies yellow, doesn't say mono yellow, so you can add that. Really cool. You can add a card like that. This guy pretty much add any card in your deck that's Shadow Dragon. That's not, including the 9-drop. And the great thing about it is this is a Shadow Dragon heavy deck, so like you shouldn't be whiffing off this, right? Awaken. You awaken when your life is 4 or less, or alternative awakening. If you have 2 more energy and a yellow Z unison with a specified cost of 1 in play, you get to switch this card and one of your energy to active mode. Place up to 7 Shadow Dragons assemble from your Z deck in your battle area, and add cards from your life to your hand until you have 6 life left. So basically, you untap an energy, you untap this card as well, so now you get to swing with it. You get a Z extra into your battle area, right? And then you go down to 6 life. So really cool. You can also awaken with the other Z unison that was revealed, so you guys can watch the previous video. There's a SSB Gogeta Z unison, specify cost of 1, but this does have its own archetype Z unison. We'll look at that shortly. So overall, really good. You don't occur hard value on this side. You only get the value of a filter. So yeah, you really don't want to be on this side for too long. Really, 2 turns is enough, right? Nova Shenron, ferocious soldier, cool looking art. Auto once per turn. When you use a yellow card in a combo, draw 1. Any yellow card you use, both players' turn, you'll draw 1. So really good. Great way to build Z energy. Very nice. Activate main / battle once per turn. So during your turn or your opponent's turn, during the battle step or activate main step on your turn. Place 2 of your Z energy in your drop, so that's the cost. Choose up to 1 of your yellow Shadow Dragon cards with the EX Evolve skill, switch it to active mode. Really cool, so you can do it on your turn for an additional attack, on your opponent's turn just for an additional body to defend with. Activate battle, so this is on either player's turn. This activate battle is not once per turn. The cost is 1 yellow. You choose 1 Shadow Dragon card with 1 power, so not combo power, but with 1 actual attack power. This specifies the Dragon Balls that were the cracked balls that were released earlier in the set. So like the 1-star ball, the 3-star ball, 4-star ball, etc., etc. Right? Play up to 1 yellow Shadow Dragon card with the same character name as the chosen card and an energy cost of 4 from your hand or drop. Skills negated for the game. So basically, if you combo with, let's say, a 4-star ball, right? A 4-star ball with 1 power, right? You combo with that. You choose that card using this activate battle. Tap a yellow. You get to play a 4-cost card with the same character name. So in that case, that would be like a Nova Shenron, right? And it would have to have energy cost of 4. Now the unfortunate part is the card that's played has its skills negated for the game. This is a little weak. I don't think it would have been too strong if they said skills negator for the turn, right? That way, if it survives till next turn, you'll still get your skills. That way, you can do it on your turn, on your opponent's turn. You can, get the blocker in if it's an Oceanus or something. I don't understand why they did this. They could have easily just said till the end of the turn. So this is a little bit weak over here, and in general, it's a little bit, yeah, not really to my liking. Since we're on the topic of Shadow Dragon, a little bit unorthodox. I want to review this guy, 6-star ball. This is the Shadow Dragon leader. This is the leader you get for pre-release. So this was revealed a few weeks ago. So this is actually a 6-star ball. This is Oceanus Shenron. This is the promo. So this is the pre-release leader you get. Permanent. This card can't attack. Gets the same effect. Activate main. Add one card from your hand to your Z energy. Switches to rest mode. So Nova, if you take a look, says add one yellow card. This says add any card, right? Look at the top 5 cards, add any yellow Shadow Dragon, then shuffle. Same effect, right? Awaken, this is hard when your life is at 6 or less and you have 2 more energy. There's no alternative awakening. Your life just has to be a 6 or less and you have to have 2 or more energy. So pretty cool. You draw one, then switch this card and up to one of your energy to active mode. So a little bit different than Nova. Nova says you just switch this card and energy and get a field. This says you draw one, switch this card and your energy to active mode. And then we have an Oceanus Shenron. This is a blocker. When this card attacks, discard one yellow card, any yellow card you draw 2. And then this has an activate main. So similar to the Nova Shenron, this card actually for 1 yellow energy plays any yellow Shadow Dragon card with a cost of 4 or less from your warp, then switch this card active mode at the end of the turn. So they both play 4 drops on their awakened side. This one does it during the battle step on either player's turn. This one has an activate main. This one only plays from the warp. This plays from your hand or drop. But the great thing about this Oceanus Shenron is she actually plays a Shadow Dragon 4 or less from your warp, and the skills are not negated. So this is actually really good because you can play 4 drops that have their keyword skills or their auto still alive. Really strong on offense, right? Very, very strong. She also has a very nice activate battle over here. Once per turn, if it's your opponent's turn only, you send 3 yellow Shadow Dragon cards. From your drop to your warp, she gains 10k power for the battle. Really cool, really nice. And last but not least, we have the Z Unison. So this is the pre-release Unison. Everybody gets it for participating. Permanent, card can't attack. 2 cost, 1 Z energy, 20k. Activate main, choose one of your yellow Shadow Dragon cards. 8 or less, gains barrier, +1. The -1 is actually really cool. If your leader's a yellow Shadow Dragon card, add cards from your left to your hand until you have 6 life left. Place up to 1 yellow Shadow Dragon card from your drop or warp at the bottom of your deck, and increase the specified cost of this card by 2 yellow for the turn. The reason for this is just so you can play it in the set 10 yellow Shenron deck. That way you can actually have an easy turn 2 awakening if you want to awaken, right? So if you want to awaken and you don't want to be at 3 life, or you don't want to play a 4-drop specified, unison, you can just play this guy for 2 and trigger the awakening very early and go down to 6 life. So I just wanted to review that really quick. So we have 2 Shadow Dragon leaders, new leaders, the set that we have access to, and all these cards that we're going to see work in both leaders, as well as the older set 10 leader. So these cards also work in Sin Shenron as well, right? So really cool. Shadow Dragons is really making a strong comeback this set, guys. Right off the bat, we have an SR, SS4 Son Goku versus Nova Shenron, Clash with the Soldier. This is treated as a Saiyan and Shadow Dragon because it's a Goku and a Nova Shenron. This also works in the Gogeta archetype, guys, so really strong. Dual attack blocker, good keyword skills. The way to play it is activate main/battle, limit 1 for 1 yellow. As long as your leader is yellow, you have 3 or more energy, and you have a yellow unison card in play. Draw 1 card, play this card from under a Z extra in your battle area or from your hand. So it can only be played turn 3 and onwards. It replaces itself on play, draw 1, and if you play it from a Z extra, it's a hard +1. But the stipulation is your leader has to be yellow, and you need to have a yellow unison and 3 or more energy. So the first 2 effects is okay, 3 or more energy is good, leader is yellow, but to have a yellow unison in play is a little tough, especially because unison removal is more prominent now than ever, right? So this is going to be a little tough to pull off. But hey, if it does get played, you choose any of your opponent's battle cards or unisons, switch it to rest mode, and you're getting a blocker. So sort of like a power of a Super Saiyan built into this 20k dual attack blocker. Very nice, very cool. We have the Z Unison that is probably ran in this Nova Shenron deck to help it awaken, right? When a player attacks, you may use one Shadow Dragon card from under a Z extra in your battle area in a combo skills negator for the turn. If you do, negate the skill for the turn. +1 activate main, place a yellow Shadow Dragon card from your hand under a 7 Shadow Dragons assembled in your battle area. Draw one, and this guy gets 5k power till the end of your opponent's turn, right? So let's take a look at Shadow Dragons assembled and we'll review that card. This is the Z extra that's played actually for free once you awaken. And what this guy does is it's basically one is played. So if your leader's a yellow Shadow Dragon, when it's placed in a battle area, you place up to 7 Shadow Dragon cards with 1 power. So the balls, right? So 1-star ball, 2-star ball. You can place as many as you want, as long as they have 1 power and maximum of 7, right? So place up to 7 with 1 power from your deck and or drop under this card, then shuffle your deck. Obviously, if you look through it. So let's say if you play 7 cards from your deck, you're thinning yourself 7 cards. Really strong. Activate main for 4 yellow energy. You remove this card from the game. Choose up to 2 of your opponent's cards. Switch them to rest mode. So that includes their energy, their leader, their unisons, whatever the case is. It's activate main, not battle. So you can only do one on your turn, but it's a strong effect. Choosing 2 of your opponent's cards, switching it to rest mode. Very cool. So this Z Unison basically says that, hey, when I attack or when your opponent attacks, if I decide to trigger this whenever I want to, so you can trigger this whenever you want to. It doesn't have to be the first time. But when you trigger this, you use a Shadow Dragon card from under that Z extra and a combo skills negated. So then that'll trigger your leader's awakened side to draw one. And then obviously if the card you combo with has 1 power, you can now trigger your activate battle over here. Really, really cool, right? And this activate main says you can place a yellow Shadow Dragon card from your hand underneath the Z extra and draw one. So this is the way you can actually place this guy underneath the Z extra to play him. Or you can place like a 1 cost 10k underneath it. And that way you'll have a 10k live to combo with the Z Unison to protect it or your leader. Really cool, right? Really, really cool. And a very nice boss effect over here. We have a new 9-drop Sin Shenron. It's a blocker, EX Evolve over a 4 cost. When it's removed from a battle area by a skill or KO, opponent skill or KO, draw 2, choose all your opponent's leaders, battle cards in unisons, switch them to rest mode, then play the negative energy 1-star ball from your drop. This is the old one that was introduced in set 10, right? Nadaron, Shenron, Earth Energy Wave, dual attack, evolve, draw 2 cards. So when you evolve, you draw 2 cards, and this evolves over a Nadaron Shenron with an energy cost of 4. Auto, when this card is played, place up to 3 yellow Shadow Dragon cards from your drop at the bottom of the owner's deck in any order. Pretty cool. This is like an anti-mill card. It helps you recycle a lot of the pieces so you don't mill out. It's dual attack. It's got 30k power. And then same effect as the other one. When it's removed by an opponent's skill or KO'd, respectfully, you just play its own ball. So in this case, this would be the 7-star ball, right? And if you're playing Nova Shenron, you should have the balls because you combo with them. So they'll be either in your Z energy or in your drop, right? Really cool so far. Last but not least, for this one, we have Ice Shenron, Freezing Beam Shoot. This evolves over any Ice Shenron with a cost of 4. When you EX evolve, it costs 1 yellow. You draw 2. Auto, when it's played, choose one of your opponent's leaders or battle cards as long as they're in rest mode. And that chosen card can't attack until the end of your opponent's turn. So lock in their leader down, plus getting an 8 cost 30k is really good. And same removal effect. When it's removed, you get to play the 3-star ball, right? So right off the bat, really cool. I mean, they did not reveal any of the star balls, so you're using a lot of the older cards to support this. So, overall, really, really cool. They also revealed this SR, Nova Shenron, Blazing Blaster Meteor. Try saying that fast 10 times, right? EX Evolve, it evolves over a Nova Shenron with energy cost of 4. There's a couple, right? There's a new one that we got in this set, which is Goku versus Nova Shenron. There's also a couple of old ones as well. And when you EX Evolve over it, you draw 2 cards. Remember, the way to play it is just using your leader's activate battle over here. It'll play with the skills negator for the game, but you don't care because you're going to immediately EX Evolve over it, right? Now, this card is actually really strong. When this card attacks, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. Sorry, no. You just choose any of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. It doesn't have to be in rest mode. I apologize. So you choose any of your opponent's battle cards. It could be inactive, you just KO it. But if you use this skill to KO a rest mode card, you switch this card to active mode. So really strong because if you KO'd a rest mode card, this is basically a 30k dual attacker. You swing, KO a rest mode card, switch it to active, swing 30k again. Then you can use your leader's effect if you have 2 Z energy, which you pretty much do right off the bat over here, right? You place 2 Z energy into the drop, restand him again, and swing a third time for 30k. And you can do this as early as turn 2 if you have the right setup, right? So assuming turn 1 you get a Z energy, and let's say you play a one drop or cantrip or whatever the case is, right? Turn 2, what'll happen is you'll play your Z unison, and you'll awaken, restand that energy, and then on that turn 2 you'll tap 1 for a 4 drop using your leader skill over here. Skill's negated, and tap that last energy on turn 2 to awaken to this Nuova Shenron. Now you have a bunch of swings. You have your leader swing. You have this bad boy swinging 3 times for 30k. So really strong turn 2 play. Really strong card in general. 8 cost, 5k combo. We love to see that. Really cool. You have a Z battle card. Hey Shenron. Great Dragon Quake. 2 Z energy is a little steep, but this deck has no problem getting Z energy. From what we've seen, every time you use a card in a combo, you draw one. So pretty much easy Z energy. Auto, when this card is played or attacks, and this auto is not once per turn, it has deflect as well, really strong. When this card is played or attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards or unisons, switch it to rest mode. So the turn it's played and at the turn it attacks, it'll switch 2 cards, 2 battle cards or unisons to rest. So pesky blocker tokens or pesky blocker unisons are not safe from this guy. He also has a very cool auto. If your leader is a yellow Nova Shenron card, when you use one of your yellow Shadow Dragon cards in a combo, which you do off the Z Unison or from your hand, you place 1 yellow Shadow Dragon card from your drop under a 7 Shadow Dragons assembled in your battle area. Really cool way to recycle a lot of those balls that you may have used, or recycle something like this, for example. You could have combo with this early game, and mid game you can now recycle it for a late game activate battle, right? Really cool. This card is neat. It's got deflect. It's a 2 Z energy, but a 1 cost 15k swing that rest 2 things. Really cool. We also have a new 4 drop, Sin Shenron, Battle of Offense and Defense. Deflect, which is a great keyword skill, and Double Strike, also a very nice skill. This card is pretty simple. If you have 3 or more energy, right, the auto, so you can play it whenever you want to, off the ball or off your leader effect. But in order to proc this auto, you need to have 3 or more energy, and you have to send 1 yellow Shadow Dragon card from your drop to your warp. When he attacks, choose one of your opponent's rest mode battle cards. You KO it, and this card gains 5k power for the turn. And then when you EX evolve over it, that power will be carried over, right? So this card is really good, but this card actually, I think, has a lot more synergy in the Oceanus deck, because you can actually play this for 1, and it'll be played with its skills active. So then you'll play it for 1, swing with it, and you'll get full effect over here, the double strike and everything. So cool card. We got our new 4 drop Sin and a new 9 drop Sin as well, right? So really cool. But I think the older 4 drop Sin and the older 9 drop Sin are still so strong. Those are set 10 cards, and they're still really strong. One locks a leader, the other one just negates all the skills, right? So those are also very strong. We have a Rage 8 drop Rage Shenron. Critical, so it matches the 2 drop, which also has crit. This one evolves, draw 1 card for evolve, but this one evolves with a cost of 3. So this one doesn't really have the synergy we need with our Nova Shenron leader over here, but this could work for other leaders like the set 10 or the Oceanus Shenron. So basically what you do is you play the 2 drop, you swing with it, it has crit, and then you EX evolve into the 3 drop, and then you evolve again over here. So you have to go up 2 chains for this bad boy. But when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards or unisons, ignoring barrier, very strong. Switch it to rest mode, and then negate its skills for the turn. Very strong effect. Sometimes your opponent will have battle cards with barrier in active mode, and you might have removal in rest mode, but it'll be tough to switch them to rest. So this bad boy does it. And then he has the same effect as the other 8 drops. When he's KO'd by a skill, opponent skill, or just in general, when he's KO'd, you get to play his respective ball from the drop, right? So to recycle it. Really cool. We have an 8 drop Oceanus Shenron, Mighty Hurricane Fury. She's a blocker. EX Evolve, draw one card. Oceanus Shenron card with a cost of 4, right? So we have that already. It exists. It's a 4 drop Searcher. Uh, Auto once per turn. At the end of your turn, or when you activate this card's blocker skill, switch this card to active mode. This is really good because this can swing, and then you can resend it with your Nuova Shenron leader. Swing again. At the end of the turn, it'll switch back to active as blocker. On your opponent's turn, it'll block, and then automatically switch to active mode. Then when you can block again, you can use your leaders, activate main in battle, switch it back to active again. So really good. If it survives, then yeah, this card is blocking twice. This card is attacking twice, right? So it's really good. Same effect as all the rest of the 8 drops. When it's removed, you get to go ahead and play the respective ball from your drop. Yeah. Another 8 drop over here. Hey Shenron, shamed. EX Evolve, you draw one card for this. Hey Shenron with energy cost of 4. When this card is played, choose up to 2 of your opponent's rest mode battle cards and KO them. Really cool wide board removal over here right off the bat. Just says, I get played, bam, I'm going to KO something. Don't have to get into the battle step. Don't have to do anything special. Nope. Just on play, going to KO 2 battle guys. 2 battle cards. And same effect, when it's removed, you play the respective ball. Flame Shot, this is a 0 cost. Love seeing 0 cost extra cards, 0 cost effects. They're really good. They're really strong. Have to be careful they're not too busted, but this one is really cool. So activate battle, limit 1. Place a yellow Shadow Dragon card from your combo area in its owner's drop. You draw 1, so this card automatically replaces itself. Then use 1 yellow Shadow Dragon card with 1 power from your drop and a combo. Skills negated for the turn. You're asking, hey, what's the point of this? This is actually really good, only in the pretty much this Nuova Shenron leader. What it does is, let's say for example, you don't have any of those 1 cost 1 power balls. Let's say you don't have a 4-star ball and you really need one. What you can do is just combo with any regular old Shadow Dragon, activate this card for free, draw 1, right? So place that card. Let's say you're comboing with a Omega Shenron, put that Omega Shenron in the drop, draw a card, immediately replace this card, and combo with maybe a 4-star ball. So now you can play a Nova Shenron and get into your chain. So this card is basically represents extra copies of the 1 cost power, Dragon Balls in your drop. And the great thing about it is it's a 0 cost that actually replaces itself. It's limit 1. It could be done during your turn, or it could be done during your opponent's turn. This card is very, very good in this archetype. Don't sleep on this card. Spike Evil Heart. This is really for the Fortune Teller Baba deck. I guess it's a cool card. I'm not really gonna review it, but yeah. And then last but not least, I hate this card. Embodiment of Hopelessness. 1 energy yellow card. Activate main. Draw 1. Yeah, it replaces itself, but you're tapping an energy. This is such an energy hungry deck, man. Draw 1 card, and at the end of your turn, choose all your Shadow Dragon cards and switch them to active mode. I mean, it's so stupid. There's no reason to run this card. Your leader will switch the cards to active mode anyways. In that case, you might as well just play set 10 Sin Shenron. It just restands by itself. And set 10 Sin Shenron actually has a Z leader too, so it's like additional support on top of it. So this is the cards we've seen from this archetype. Really cool, really neat. There's 3 Shadow Dragon cards to play. There's Nova Shenron, there's Oceanus Shenron, and there's Sin Shenron. All 3 of them play very differently, a little bit similar in certain regards. The cards and the engine certainly can be similar, but they play very differently. They have different play styles, right? And it's going to be interesting this next set to see which deck is going to be used. All 3 of them are playable. I think set 10 Sin Shenron is still the better deck out of these 3. And then I would say maybe Oceanus and Nova are behind it. Oceanus seems a little bit more aggro for sure, and Nova seems a little bit more defensive, with Sin being that overall control deck. But Sin can also be played aggressive or defensive or however else you want to. Sin seems to be just so overly good in that regard. It's going to be interesting for sure which deck people are going to play. But let's go on with some of the more synergistic cards for this. That was weird. Let's go on to the more synergistic cards for this archetype. Right off the bat, we want to talk about Shadow Dragons. Obviously, we're running a lot of Shadow Dragons, so we have to include a lot of Shadow Dragons. And I'm not going to go over every single 1-star ball that we have to include or every single other card that we have to include. There's too many. The deck was made in mind for you to use these older cards. So you can't really call them synergistic because you have to include them, right? An example is Oceanus Shenron. This is a card that you have to include. Like, you'd be stupid not to play it. It's a searcher, burst one. You look at top five at any Shadow Dragon. It's barrier blocker, so it's playable from not only this Nova Shenron, it's also playable from the Oceanus Shenron for one energy. So it's like these are cards you have to include. You should include. Here's a cool one. If you're Nova Shenron, when you combo with the yellow card, you draw one. So this is great because not only do you draw one when you combo with it, but this has an additional effect. So do attack, burst one. But the great thing about it is when it's used in a combo from your hand, choose one Shadow Dragon card in your battle area, switch to active mode. So sort of like a Zarbon. Really cool. Great for the Nova Shenron, right? Ice Shenron. This card is really good. If you decide to run a heavy Crag Ball engine, the Dark Ball engine, then this is good because you can play a Shadow Dragon with an energy cost of 1, so you get to play those balls out. The skills are negated for the turn, so on your opponent's turn, your next turn, you'll be able to crack them and use their effect. Also has a very strong counterplay skill. Play the card. The card being played is played in rest mode. This includes Z Unisons as well, so really strong in that regard. And it's searchable. Omega Shenron, you need this card in this archetype. This card is insane. Basically, for 1 yellow energy, you play a 30k that draws one, has the option to take a life as well during its activate main effect. Basically, you choose one of your mono yellow Shadow Dragon cards, energy cost of 4 or less, place in the drop, draw one, play this card from your hand. You can get the 4 drop or less using your leader effect if you're Oceanus or Nuova very easily for 1. And then you can pick up a life with this and gain skills of the card you sent to the warp, as long as it's not a Sin Shenron, has a cost of between 2 and 4, right? Card has perfect synergy. Most of these cards probably are bought out by now. So if you need it, then definitely need it. You don't need them to play the deck, but they certainly do help. I think they're important. So this is definitely an example. Hey Shenron, this card used to be so annoying. Definitely need it. Has great synergy. Your leader's a Shadow Dragon, so anything that attacks with the energy cost higher than the card energy, if it doesn't have barrier, bam, you just kill and get pitch a Shadow Dragon, get rid of it. Right. Opponent can't really go for game against you unless they have a better plan. Another 8-drop over here, Oceanus Shenron, Ultimate Shadow Dragon, basically the boss monster. For 1 energy, as long as you warp 7 mono yellow Shadow Dragons, you draw a card, play this card from your hand, and it's a triple striker. So it's unique, but it doesn't really matter because the turn you're playing, you're probably going for game. And the great thing is both of these 8-drops that cost 1 can just be successored over with the green, yellow SS4 Gogeta and Sin Shenron. So really, really cool. All right, guys. So here we have another card over here, Nova Shenron. Oh my goodness! Take another pause. Nice, deep, pregnant pause. Let's take a look at what this Nova Shenron does over here. So basically, on play, when this card is played, choose up to 1 Ice Shenron card from your deck, hand, or drop area. Play it, then shuffle your deck if you look through it. The reason why we care about this card so much is we actually play it from Oceanus Shenron, right? So this card is actually better in Oceanus than it is better in this Nova Leader. But you tap 1 energy, you play a yellow Shadow Dragon card with a cost of 4, and Oceanus plays it with its skills active. So by playing this Nova Shenron, you're free to play any Ice Shenron from your deck, hand, or drop. And the reason why that's so powerful is because the Ice Shenron they revealed is an 8-drop. So you can actually get a 1 energy 2-card combo off. One of them being this 4-drop 20k Nova over here, and the other one being this 8-drop Ice over here and use this effect. So I want to make this a card a good mention because this card is actually really strong. Not so much for this Nova deck, but more so for the Oceanus deck. Right? We have this extra card over here, Burning Spin. The reason why we care is because our leader is a Shadow Dragon card. Negate the attack, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards to rest mode. It's pretty cool, right? It's sort of like a negate and a mini power of a Super Saiyan built in one, or I guess something like that. And the fact that we get to switch one of their battle cards to rest mode, I guess if you're playing a more defensive standpoint, it helps. Let's take a look at more of these cards over here. Oops, wrong button. Dragon Thunder. This is a great extra card. This card is actually really strong because its effect is a bean, right? On defense, it's a bean. But also, if you pay the cost, you get to negate any card in your opponent's battle area. So that includes cards like Z Extras and stuff. So overall, it's really strong. Ultimate Dragon Quake. This card is actually from Cross Spirits over here. This is a black card, but it has no specified cost. The reason why we care about this card basically it acts like a haze shenron, which if you're running this card, you really don't need to run this card. But the reason why we care about it is because haze shenron KOs. There's certain cards that can't be KO'd, or certain cards that are immune to pretty much are immune to KO effects. Then you can run Ultimate Dragon Quake because it warps them as long as they have an energy cost greater than their current energy. Yeah, they'll get it back, but it's just for that battle, especially if they want to go all in. Um, and certain cards can't be KO'd, so they might think they're safe from Hey Shenron, but in reality, they're really not safe from Dragon Quake because Dragon Quake warps, it won't KO. So pretty strong in that regard as well, right? Also, like for example, if you're playing against the Gogeta deck, they have the 8-drop Vegeta that has Revive. That says if it's KO'd, it comes back. That card could be really annoying, so hitting it with Dragon Quake could be really, really cool. Since we have a Unison, as a Unison, Prideful Transformation is great. We want to protect our Unison as much as possible. This card rests the card coming into play, as long as it doesn't have Deflect, right? This card rests the card coming into play, and itself acts as a blocker. So now you're able to get into your Nuova Shenron's activate battle step a lot easier. If they swing at your Z Unison and get rid of it, you won't have a chance to play your guys or have a chance to, use your cards in a combo effectively. Vegeta represents basically a sort of way to get into that battle step and also protect your Unison. Because we have 2Z energy, I also wanted to include this card as well, right? We get 2Z energy very easily off our leader's unawakened side. So turn 1, you add a card from hand as Z energy. Turn 2, add a card from hand as Z energy, then awaken. And obviously, because we combo a lot and we draw when we combo, we're naturally going to have Z energy. So the great thing about this activate battle is you can do it on your opponent's turn after you've activated both of these counters. One is Vegito. So this is a counterplay over here. You have the 2Z energy, you play it, you floodgate your opponent. The other one is this Bardock over here. This is great. So when your opponent attacks, you could just floodgate your opponent with this. And then after both of these cards have been, resolved, then you can activate battle over here, place those 2Z energy that you have, and restage your guys or whatever the case is, right? So really, really good synergy with Nuova Shenron. They also have good synergy with Oceanus Shenron as well. Just a couple of cards I want to throw in, so you can go different floodgates in this manner. But the deck is heavy Shadow Dragon archetype. It's going to be a lot of Shadow Dragons. It's going to be not too much of these generic cards. And there's so many more cards I didn't include that just fit in so well with this archetype. I didn't include the 1-star negative energy balls and all that stuff because obviously you need to run them, and there's different ones that they all do similar things. So I'm not gonna go over them. But these are some cute cards you can run. Shadow Dragons is making a huge comeback, man. There's 3 different Shadow Dragons to play next set. Each one of them have their own, unique play style. They all play similar cards, but they're also very, very, very unique, and it's going to be really cool. So Shadow Dragon fans, I know you're out there. I know you love these decks. You guys are going to be so happy. All three of these decks are playable. All 3 of these decks are good. I've been playing this on Untap lately. I tested both Oceanus and I've tested Nova, and the deck does feel a little bit wonky in certain situations. The fact is you need to rely on your Z Unison so much. So that could be a little bit troublesome. And the problem is deck constructing is a little tough. So I don't think this is a tier 1 deck. I don't think it's tier 2 either. I think it's a little bit more fun. I don't think it's as competitive, right, as people want it to be. If you really want to go competitive, I think you have a better chance going with Set Tense and Shenron instead of this. But it's a good deck. It's a fun deck. And if you're a Shadow Dragon fan, you'll love this deck for sure. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for watching. Let me know what deck you're excited to play, and which Shadow Dragon you're excited to play. We have Oceanus, we have Nova, we have Sin. It's a good time to be a Shadow Dragon fan, man. So, three Shadow Dragon decks in the meta. Let me know which one is your favorite, and please thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment below. I'll tune into it when I have a chance, and stay tuned for the next one. Next reveal is going to be pretty crazy, so we got some next reveals, good reveals coming up. Stay tuned, have a nice day, and thank you so much for watching.